He's not a bat, he's a man who fights crime. And we're gonna watch him fight for a minute at a time. With John and Niall, and I guess you just rhyme with Bat Minute!
Hello and welcome to another minute of Bat Minute Forever, where we're starting this party with a bang. Oh, they give you one. They give you one for this minute at least.
I know. I was going to say that to introduce myself.
Oh, this is the only bit punctual, even for your own funeral here, John. But I am one of the hosts, Niall McGowan.
And the person whose funeral you are all attending, it is me, John Parker.
And once again, we have returning from just earlier this week our two guests from MASH Minutes. Tierney Steele Callahan.
So yes, I am from MASH Minute, and I will be from Joe versus the Minute.
On the other side of the ring, we have returning from Wednesday, Fright Night Minute's own Robin Burdge.
Yes.
But anyway, this is minute 6 of Batman Forever. This begins with a Chase Meridian kind of highbrow, low-key dissing Batman, and it ends 1 minute later with Two-Face waiting for a lift. This is the continuation of Chase Meridian's, I want to call it pop psychology, but it's pretty much spot-on psychology for Batman. And that's, you're talking about, the traumatic event that'll leave the victim, in a mindset where the normal rules of right and wrong no longer apply. Which is very blatantly talking about Batman.
And she's not going to let him pretend that she's not. So she says, "Do we just call you Bats?" And she's so proud of her joke. And she's so disappointed when she turns around and he's not there. It's Bats with a Z, right? Like, when you picture it in your mind, do we just call you Bats? There's no way it's plural. It's B-A-T-Z.
Well, I think that now it has to be because, Robert Pattinson was referred to by the press as R. Pats with a Z for so long.
Yeah.
Now it gets to be R. Bats with a Z, so that's going to be... That has to become journalistic standard practice.
Oh my god, if someone doesn't call him Bats in this new movie, I'm going to be so mad.
And that's even better in Liverpool, actually, because you put R, like the way they pronounce our, at the start of anyone you're vaguely connected to. So it'd be like, if your brother's called Dan, I say, Dan did this, so it'd be R Pats, because he's R Pats. He's
Slightly less annoying than hearing Batfleck. I was a bit tired of that.
Yeah, that got old very quickly. And I don't mean his movie.
It has been confusing in Liverpool for years when people talk about R. Kelly. It's like, Kelly? Yeah.
R. Kelly.
She went down the road like, R. Kelly. But, you mean you're Kelly. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Oh, your younger sister. Okay, yeah.
You got again, the end of the next movie, I had to delve into R. Kelly for, City of Justice, City of Love. And it's like, what's he going to have done by then? Like,
hey, it's giving us content.
That's going to be end credits content, which is like, these end credits episodes where it's just me and John talking about R. Kelly are like a 5-part series in themselves. There's so much I got to do with this guy.
They'll be nominated for awards, like our investigative reporting. But I think that this relationship instantly seems like it's going to be trash to me, right? Because, knowing that they do hook up. Because she comes out and she's like, I could write a hell of a paper on a grown man who dresses like a flying rodent. That seems very insulting for a start. Mm-hmm. But also, she can't turn the business off. Mm-hmm. It's like, so she wants to hang out with him. And she wants to get with him. We know that. But also, in order to write her paper.
Well,
it's like, no, turn the business off. This is someone you want to be with. You don't analyze your partner.
And then continuing the idea, like, this dialogue, if said in a different manner, could flat out turn it into a fight. Because he steps up to her, he's like,
he's kind of threatening.
Yeah, he's like,
yeah, that's kind of scary. Or does she find that a bit kinky?
Maybe that is it. Maybe the fact that she doesn't back off, she's like, you are interesting. It's like, so... This fetishistic outfit. This ain't just for show.
That's like something, again, Catwoman would appreciate.
Yeah, okay, though we find out later she knows about his history with Catwoman, so maybe she is approaching this was like, this guy's into some kinky stuff. So I think I can size up to him, and maybe he'll like it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he is almost approaching her with like, "What the fuck did you say?" Kind of like,
Oh yeah.
Nobody analyzes Batman.
You know, Christian Bale got such grief for this Batman voice, and Val Kilmer is 100% doing it, because I saw Val Kilmer in The Saint, and he didn't sound like this.
No, but I think it suits him. Do you like Val as Batman? I came into this going, nah, I'm not too keen on him. Having watched the movie now, I actually really like his take on Batman.
Yeah, I think he's one of my favorite parts of this movie. I like it as well.
I was like, this year will be the year of the Kilmer Renaissance. So people reevaluate. Maybe Val Kilmer was the best Batman the whole damn time.
Definitely not the best, but I enjoy it. And yeah, he's a good Bruce, you're right, as well. And I don't know, he's got the look, he's got the face, I keep bringing this up. Batman's all about the lips. You need cool lips.
Yeah.
You need big lips, pouty. He's got the pout. He can pull the voice off. You know, there's something about him. Sometimes he does seem a bit wooden, but I would argue that's the character.
Yeah,
like they're portraying this Bruce and Batman in a very weird way. Like sometimes he's completely getting out of that old thing. In the last two movies, he was Batman. There was no Bruce. And in this set of movies, it's kind of like, oh, he's torn. He flips between the two, much like Two-Face.
Yeah.
Who doesn't flip between the two in this movie?
You're writing a paper of your own.
Yes, so I could write a paper about Batman. In some ways, we have by doing this show.
That would be bizarre if someone got in contact with us going, do you mind if I cite you guys for like an academic paper? But yet, one thing actually I will posit, and it's a thing like it's kind of similar to a thing that almost happened quite recently, and I'm hoping we will be able to get this as a proper story in one of these kind of movies. But I think Chase Meridian as a character would be much more interesting if she became a villain at some point. Because
she seems like she's set up to be a villain. She's going to double cross him.
It seems like she's almost like a Batman inflected Harley Quinn at this point.
Yeah.
She's just so fascinated by this guy. She's really she is ready for his jelly. Like she's throwing it. Like she is so hot for Batman, and then she's also interested in the psychology part. And like one of the things I did like in Suicide Squad, that kind of similar to what you were saying, John. Like she can't turn off the business side. I always appreciated in that movie they had Harley like continually in casual conversation trying to psychoanalyze people because they remembered, oh, she's a psychiatrist. And at one point she's like, oh, I like to unscrew people's heads and then spit on them and stuff. Yeah.
You don't do that to your partner, though, or your potential partner.
But that's the thing. That's what I think would make her, Chase Meridian, an interesting... If she turned out to be like Hugo Strange or something, like she figures out who Batman is because she had like a demented obsession with him, much like Hugo Strange does in some versions of the comics. This could have been like, and it's similar to an idea of like what apparently they're going to do with a film that's actually very similar to Batman Forever, Iron Man 3, where Rebecca Hall's character was going to be revealed to be the main villain. And then I think, apparently what I've heard is that they thought the main villain of the movie can't be this woman because it won't sell toys, basically. So you have to make him this muscular man. And you have to make that's your villain. That's what the rumor was, anyway.
The villain was a woman the whole time, and you're sexist.
The thing is, if you watch it, it's like, yeah, Rebecca Hall would have been a way more interesting character had she been the villain in Iron Man 3 as intended, until they said, like, no, we can't sell toys of Rebecca Hall, but we can sell toys of, like, shirtless Guy Pearce looking all muscular and tough and stuff. And the thing is, we'll get into it when Edward Nygma shows up, but the plot line of Iron Man 3 is that worker within the main billionaire. The superhero is a billionaire. He runs a company. He has a really dweeby loser employee who's desperately obsessed with him and tries to get in with him, is rejected, and then he becomes this multi-millionaire billionaire, villain himself. And it turns out he's actually been secretly behind the scenes, unbeknownst to the hero, the villain the whole time. And that is what I remember when I watched it. I was like, this is Batman Forever. It's also The Incredibles to a certain extent, but it was like, because even at the beginning of the film, he looks a bit like Edward Nygma when he shows up and stuff. Guy Pearce got the long hair and the glasses and stuff. It's like, this is is Jon Favreau trying to get or not even Jon Favreau, Shane Black. It's like, Shane Black trying to get a fast one on us by repackaging Batman. And then he freaking blows up all the Iron Man stuff at one point as well. And it's like, that's when the Riddler destroys the Batcave in this movie. Like, what's going on? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's my ongoing Shane Black ripped off Batman Forever conspiracy theory that I've been right on the Reddit subreddits about, that I've been banging on about since 2013.
I think it's canon now.
It is.
It's that on a Movies by Minute podcast.
Yeah. You need to start making like weird InfoWars style videos about it now.
But again, that is just further emphasizing my point that I do think that this would have been much more interesting had, and not that I don't dislike the character of the Riddler and whatnot, but like had Two-Face been the main villain, and then like maybe Chase Meridian turned out to be a villain towards the end. Like she could have been a Hugo Strange character. She could have been like the twist at the end of it. There was Two-Face was working with somebody, and it turned out to be the woman who was actually getting into the Bat's cape the whole damn time.
Yep.
Yeah.
It could have, and then she would come across as much more because it could be like, oh, she wasn't putting anyone on. She is hot for Batman, but she's also like a psychopath and stuff. Like that could have been really interesting, but.
Well, I would argue she kind of is. She's a bit too into Batman. It's weird. It
could have been full on friggin' Hannibal stuff. She could have been Hannibal. She the psychoanalyst getting into Bruce Wayne's head, and then making Batman think that he's even crazier than he already is and stuff. Oh, and then all these visions and stuff later on, them like flashbacks to the cave and the giant bat coming towards them.
This is genius.
Yeah, this all could have been in this movie. But I guess they're like, nah, the Riddler. People like the Riddler. Let's get him in there, and he's doing a plot unrelated to the whole duality theme. Or is it? I guess we'll discuss that further on in the show. But
yeah, if you kept the Two-Face as not an all-caps character, as, the original version of Two-Face, maybe had him be a patient of Chase's as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Tie it all together. There you go.
Oh. What we're saying is remake Batman Forever. And
just this one. Leave the others.
Yeah. I remember one point they were planning to just, now that the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise is just kind of like on ice because that remake was so terrible. I remember one point they were just going to remake the third one, Dream Warriors, because it is the best one. Mm-hmm. And they were just like, yeah, we'll just remake that one. I was like, without any setup? Just like, we'll just go straight into that story.
It'll be fine.
But again, that would have been like freaking. Well, the reason Dream Warriors is so compelling as a story is because there's history between the main character and Freddy Krueger that was established in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
So this would just be like Star Trek Into Darkness again. This is like, this is apparently a big deal. This Khan guy's here, but if you don't know who Khan is from Star Trek lore, you're kind of screwed, I guess. But,
yeah, that's my complaint with it. Like, why should you care? Why should you care who he is?
But anywho, we've gotten way off topic here now into talking about Star Trek Into Darkness.
I like, well, before it moves on, I love the fact that, again, she's being very challenging. And I think it's kind of a good thing to find in a partner, not somebody who's just going to go along with whatever or be completely against whatever, but kind of, throw your BS back in your face a little bit. And, but, and it's usually like the male figure that is always the pigtail puller, whereas Chase is more of the, the bat ear puller.
Yeah, I can't see Batman ever sort of initiating a relationship in this universe.
Right.
He would never pursue someone first.
Yeah.
And I like how she thinks she's got the upper hand and like turns her back on him and is just like, and call me Chase, and by the way, and he gets back at her by just doing the typical Batman exit.
Yeah, I love that. You expect that of Batman. You want that in your movie.
Yeah.
He even does it to her.
I'm surprised they didn't cut to Gordon going like, oh, he does that. And then they would have...
That would be perfect. Give him another fun line. Yeah, what the hell?
Aww.
And the way she says, call me Chase, and the stare, is like, that's just pure sex again.
Oh, yeah. She's beaming as well.
Yeah.
She is very, very happy with how this transaction went. She's just like, got him already. He's going to be thinking about me later tonight.
Right.
Well, she made quite an impression, like, for good or bad. Mm-hmm. You're not going to forget her.
And she just makes such a power move by turning away from Batman and just continuing to talk down to him, and he turns it right back at her by just walking away.
I love the idea that he didn't do that on purpose, though, that he was just like, okay, conversation's over, gotta go.
Hey, I'm someone who has trouble understanding when a conversation's over. So sometimes it seems like it's the middle of a conversation and I'll walk away and then I'll think to myself for the next half an hour, like, are they going to think I'm weird? That I just walked off? Like, was it over? Were they done?
I do like the idea that Gordon's just not there anymore, because in the karaoke bar they just shouted out like, James Gordon. He's like, oh crap.
Oh crap.
Oh, that's why he didn't get his line.
You see him shuffling back in there, taking off his hat and putting it up in the coat rack.
Oh, no. I like the idea of him holding his hat over his heart. He's going, just a small town girl living in a lonely world.
I want him to be doing some Tom Jones songs after our Mars Attacks coverage now. I want him to be like, it's not unusual.
I just like that song's going on, and like meanwhile outside, like Batman's hanging from a safe above the street. Like nobody's watching Jim Gordon; they're all just looking out the window, but he's got his eyes closed. He's just so into performing.
Yeah.
At this
Jim
point,
Gordon doesn't need an audience.
At this point, they might as well make him into a comedy character. It's not like he does anything else.
Oh God, is he a Marcus?
Yeah, make him a Marcus.
Hey!
Do it.
No.
That would be really weird if we got on like Jerry Porter and his whole thing is just like, I love Commissioner Gordon so much in the first movie. What did he do to him?
This Gordon is so useless and ineffective. I wouldn't mind making him so stupid he's got loads of comedy pratfall.
The idea now of like
as well.
Him introducing himself like, oh, Gerald Christopher Commissioner Porter. Like,
oh, now we need him on.
Robin just walked away, by the way. While our backs were turned.
Let me make it
He's
clear,
like,
so
not involved in this.
so we don't upset you too much. I don't want Gordon to be like that all the time, specifically in these movies.
Well, that was the problem. Marcus wasn't like that all the time. It was clear that they could have made him a useful character and just chose not to.
Hey, I'll still defend comedy Marcus.
when I was a kid, I loved
love
Comedy Marcus, so I never, because I
Yeah.
didn't grow up with it the way that those guys did. I was just like, saw the films as a group. So I never had
same.
these years of been like, oh, this is such a cool character, and then having a third film landed on me where he's like a real doofus.
Yeah.
I never noticed a change when I
I think
watched
what they did to Sala was worse. Because I think so much of the Marcus could be justified in the character, but Sala we saw. Like, we knew that character to be a certain way. And then they just made him.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the wrong show.
I don't know. In Raiders, he like does this whole like roll down a hill with the rope thing. That was kind of a pratfall.
Oh, true. We need more slapstick going on. Come on.
The thing is, though, like I recently rewatched Crystal Skull for the first time since it came out.
Same.
And I've completely forgot that like they kind of like dance in Marcus's grave in it at one point where there's comedy slapstick stuff with the statue and tribute to him. It's like, let the poor man rest for the love of God.
I just knocked something over.
Bat Minutes, here to destroy your home.
I had my feet up on the edge of my laundry basket and it just...
I think this is all to say that Gordon's not Marcus, Dr. Meridian.
Although we'll say, was Denham Elliott played Marcus, wasn't it? So
Yes.
yeah, Denham Elliott
it was.
could have been a good Gordon. Like I can imagine him in that part.
Oh, yeah.
totally.
Denham Elliott would have brought a gravitas to it. Like, there would have been more to his Gordon that you knew was happening just off screen.
Yeah, it's a very different type of acting, but closer to the Gary Oldman, as in he's a proper grounded, real gritty character. Maybe.
Yeah. The only thing happening just off screen with Pat Henkel's Gordon is him performing John Denver for like a crowd of drunken people on a Saturday night.
He's heading to the bar for some
Please
snacks.
keep this going the entire movie. Please let this be a running
Oh
gag.
gosh, Gordon performing Gotham City. That'd be great.
Well, then when it cuts back to Two-Face and he screams, "Let's start this party with a bang!"
Yes.
He means like, Gordon. He wants him to like hit it.
Yeah. He was just making a song suggestion way too far ahead of its time.
Yeah.
This is a very dangerous shot. Like, the editing leading up to this is very weird, or is that just me? Like,
The whole movie's weird.
well, yes, but when the ball actually comes through, it looks really cool. And, like, the cutting back and forth with the elevator green arrow is very cool. But the actual editing where it's like, what the is happening here? Like, where is he standing? Who is he talking to? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm not
like,
sure.
None of it actually adds up. It feels like they just had these really cool mental images of two things, and it's like, whatever it takes to get there.
Yeah.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what 90% of these scenes are. Like, they came up with the scenes first, and stitch them together. I don't know.
Oh, God, no, that means I understand Joel Schumacher.
Well, even as he's standing there, as the wrecking ball comes in, it's like he fixes his glove in a very pronounced way.
Why?
I was like, yeah, why? He's like, I need to do something. He can't just stand there. It looks weird. So
Because he's about to get to work.
I guess so.
The ball kind of
makes
moves
sense.
awkwardly into the shot too. It's
so...
It looks very deliberate. I mean, obviously it is from the filmmaker's point of view, but it looks very deliberate. Like, oh, make sure it doesn't go anywhere near him. Quick.
Like, yeah, that's not how those are controlled.
No, but its path is very like it veers off at the right moment. It wouldn't have moved that way with the way it's swinging.
yeah.
No.
Again, though, to compare to a character that he's not actually playing, but in, a similar conceit done very well was in The Dark Knight when the Joker was blowing up the hospital, and he's just walking out and it's blown up behind him, and there's like proper rocks falling all around him, and because the way that character is portrayed, it's like he doesn't care whether he lives or dies. Like he's that nuts that he's just like, if the friggin' rock hits me in the head and I die from that, so be it. That's part of my whole chaotic plan and stuff. This Two-Face has got a very fixed, like, I'm doing this thing to kill Batman. So if this wrecking ball hits me, that would be majorly inconvenient for my whole scheme and stuff. So it just doesn't make as much sense. It's like, when you watch that, you're like, why is he standing in front of it? Like, why would you do that? Whereas with the Joker, it was like, oh, that makes total sense. But
it's so crazy. I'm looking up the credits now. We see a story by Lee Batchelor and Janet Scott Batchelor. I don't know have you guys talked about this yet?
Not them in particular. Like their past and stuff is that in itself is quite strange. Those guys actually.
Oh, all right. So cue up Pat Hinkle. Let's give him something to talk about. Another great karaoke song.
They did an episode of The Equalizer, 2 episodes of something called McGee and Me, then Batman Forever. And then just like a couple of like other things that were the Spittin' Image, which is a short. My Name is Modesty, a Modesty Blaze adventure. I don't know what that is.
No.
And then
I've heard that name.
Another Red Shoes Diary production.
And then Pompeii. And that's it. That's it.
The Jon Snow Pompeii. After like 10 years of doing virtually nothing, we're back for Pompeii. I will say actually that I looked into McGee and Me because excitedly, John, I found out it has an exclamation point in the title. McGee and Me.
That fits your new podcast you're going to do.
Yeah, I do declare the podcast analyzing films with an exclamation point in the title. But the thing is, it gets even weirder because you look into McGee and Me. The plot line on IMDb is thus: this series is intended to help Christian children grow in the Lord. It is about a normal boy and his imaginary friend, McGee, and how they use the Bible to make it through the pitfalls of growing up. How do you get from writing 2 episodes of that to writing Batman Forever?
I do not believe that these people are real. These are time travelers who are trying to make it look like they're real people living in the modern world, but they are obviously not.
But that's crazy that like you would be given the script to like, oh yeah, a multi-million-dollar franchise. You did an episode of The Equalizer, and this thing. Yeah, you guys could write this. It's kind of impressive that the script even turned out as well as it did. Because I will say though, one thing I tried to look into it is like maybe this is how they got it. Is that notably this movie within the credits here you'll see the name was it Peter McGregor Scott, and because one of the writers is called Lee Batchelor Scott, I was like, I wonder if there's a relation between them, and that's how they got it. Peter McGregor Scott is kind of an interesting character in himself in that, for one thing, it's quite notable. John Peters is not attached to Batman Forever, like such a major part of the first movie, and then infamously, successfully demoted by Tim Burton in the second film to an executive producer department, and that's why Batman Returns is so drastically much more Tim Burton movie than it is a John Peters movie as the first one was. But yeah, Peter McGregor Scott comes in. Fortunately, he's actually dead now. Died in 2017. But he also produced such films as The Jerk, Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, Revenge of the Nerds, was talking about a dated problematic movie right there. Then Black Beauty, Death to Smoochie, The Guardian with Kevin Costner and Ashton Kutcher, and then linking into this movie, Under Siege and The Fugitive.
There you
Both
go.
big Tommy Lee Jones movies.
Everyone in this movie seems to be connected to those two films.
Yeah, this is with Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, there's loads there, like all the crew. It's a big thing. Yeah, maybe I'd be intrigued. We're gonna have to look now who sort of signed on first. And was it a coincidence they all worked on those?
We'll also note that he also produced a movie called Gotcha, with an exclamation point in the title. So,
Oh, that's a good movie. Well, I think I remember it being a good movie.
but I still I'm gonna go. I can't understand how those two, and even Akiva Goldsman, his only credit prior to this was The Client, because he worked out with Joel Schumacher. So like it's like
Tommy Lee Jones.
yeah, Tommy Lee Jones. But it's like, how did these people get this level of power in Hollywood? They were like yanked out of nowhere to be like,
someone in Hollywood was still doing coke after everyone had stopped. It was just like, sure, this sounds like a good idea. Have some money. What was the market doing? Did people just have more money than they knew what to do with?
I think that's what it is. But after Two-Face screams his, let's start this party thing, you get a really good look at the suit here. Like, for one of the first times, you can see almost everything.
yeah,
And it's fascinating to me. I kind of, it's one of those, I don't really like it for the character again. Because it's, it's bizarre. He must have gone to a tailor and gone, yeah, what I want is this deep concept thing about how my face is scarred, right? So I'm two people. It's bizarre. But I would wear this. This is amazing. I want one. He's got every damn pattern known to man going on. If someone can replicate this, I will pay you.
he reminds me so much of Richard O'Brien because of the levels of leopard skin on his representative. Maybe people outside the UK won't. But Richard O'Brien used to be the host of the Crystal Maze. Beyond his Rocky Horror Show writing duties. And he was famed for always having like long leopard skin coats and stuff on. Very
they were teddy boy jackets. They were what do you call them? They're from the 50s, the rock and roll jacket. I should know this. I had one. A drape jacket. That's it.
You gotta have that like giant cowboy boots and then like the baldest head you've ever seen. Like not one.
I think you'll find you talking to me.
But like that one follicle survived his shaver every morning. Let me tell you. But yeah, this strikes me like if this had been a whole suit, this would have been a Richard O'Brien outfit.
Oh, Richard O'Brien as Two-Face. I see him more as surely he's the Riddler.
I don't know. I'm kind of liking the idea now, like him with the harmonica dancing around here and stuff.
Yeah, but the Riddler could do that. I think he used to pose riddles sometimes in the Crystal Maze.
I guess that would make sense, actually. Like, yeah, it's an extension of his Crystal Maze persona.
That's like, I can see him saying the riddles, but I really like imagining him going back and forth between the Harvey Dent and Two-Face sides.
Yeah.
Like, that would be really cool. It could be super scary cool.
Now, we're going to miss out on that. He's never going to do it now. He's too old.
Too old.
Oh.
Too old.
Too old to begin the Two-Facing.
Yeah. But
that works.
A for effort.
Yeah. We'll roll with it.
But one thing I am curious about with Two-Face is that we saw in the earlier minute, like he had Harvey Dent's side had a watch. I wonder if the Scarred side also has a watch. Or they're just like, oh, I don't trust the other personality to tell me what time it is.
Oh, no, that's a good point, because the Scarred side is his left side, which is often where you wear the watch.
Yeah. So it's like, we'll have to keep an eye out to see what.
So Two-Face is a lefty?
Actually, it should be a broken watch. I agree with that.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. It could be burnt by the acid. It's frozen in place.
Yeah. It's like 6 minutes in, we're already coming up with so many better ideas than what's in the actual finish.
This is not boding well.
One thing I do really like here in this minute, though, that you get the debut of is the Two-Face theme. Because Elliot Goldenthal's themes for Batman Forever, very underrated. And I do always, one of my... Anyone mentions Batman Forever to me, I'll instantly think of like, da 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 da. So that is almost more than the friggin' Batman theme. That leitmotif comes up again and again and again throughout this whole movie. And I actually think it's a pretty good job because it has a kind of like drunken jauntiness to it of like mischief and mayhem, but it also has a sinister undercurrent. So I think it's a good job.
Yeah, that fits him. That suits the character very well. It's changing the composer. Obviously, it's upsetting that we've lost our good friend, but I don't think the music gets like that. It doesn't get worse necessarily. It changes, and it's still great though. That's what's wonderful about it. There's still loads of great themes that are memorable, and it fits the tone of the movie and stuff. It's good.
Yeah. You know what our old friend Danny Elfman was scoring in 1995?
What?
A little movie starring Nicole Kidman called To Die For.
Ah!
Everything's connected.
Yeah.
We've come full circle.
The thing is, as soon as if you watch 2 seconds of To Die For, you're like, oh, Danny Elfman did the score for this. Because it's full on into Danny Elfman. You're almost like, did Tim Burton direct this one as well? Because it's so Danny Elfman-ish.
Well, something else I love as well is Two-Face's line once the wrecking ball does fly in. Because the elevator arrives at the top with Batman in, they think. Turns out he is in it, which is weird.
Cliffhanger.
We're going to go into that. It's weird that he is in it. But yeah, his line he comes out with, very punctual, even for his own funeral. Boys, kill the bats. It's the pause I like. The kill, full stop. The bat.
Again, original VHS release, kill the bat. Cut out of the film.
What?
Yeah.
That's one of the best bits.
Oh, man.
That's possibly his best line.
Yeah.
It's all designed to get it from like a 12 to a PG. And I guess they thought like him shouting kill the bat and like the bat must die like from their like in the deleted opening and stuff. They're like, nah, too much.
Huh.
You can say kill. Kids aren't that bloody ridiculous.
They're holding guns.
Yeah. Oh no, the guns
What
have
do they
rubber
think is gonna
bullets
happen?
though. It's fine.
They're Nerf guns.
That's probably what they'll say.
Yeah. I remember that though being a thing in like 80s cartoons and stuff. Like they could never say die. It always had to be like I remember Thundercats going like, oh, like Mum Ra saying like, if the Thundercats find that, I'm done. I was like, just say dead. I guess he's already dead because he's Mum Ra. But you know, it was
I'm
very
dead again.
Yeah, it was very notably like, oh, they don't say the word. I mean, like we were talking about last week when I mentioned the first episode of like the 1960s Batman has Bruce Wayne talking about the murder of his parents. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen Adam West say the word murder. I don't think that would be a thing that would even be allowed in the show for him to mention that his.
Did he say it like in Lord of the Rings?
Murder.
Tragically not. Although Adam West is Gandalf, that's an opportunity we missed out on.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Why don't we get to cast everything? We're so good at this.
But yeah, on like this minute's coming to a close with a close up of a green triangle, not like the red triangle we had spent so much time in the last movie talking about.
Oh, the Red Triangle Gang. Well, that reminds me that I've decided his gang in this movie are going to be called, based on our Patreon episode now, the Two-Tongue Gang. So this is the Two-Tongue Gang, and they're waiting for Batman to come up the lift of doom.
Yeah, I have no objections to that. I think in terms of me personally, like the only other notes I have are just more about like Chase Meridian's insane thirst for Batman and just all the kind of like.
Oh no, we're well versed in that. I had to take the moment in my brain when you did the intro to be like lift elevator.
Okay.
The pun works. You weirdo.
My only last note was basically, why would Batman take an elevator when he could just drive up a wall?
Well, this is the thing. Yeah, this is what I don't get, and I'm going to go into it more next week.
Okay.
This is a Die Hard thing.
Not only is that bizarre, but the fact that he is actually in there, that's not a ruse. Surely he should send that up and then drop down from behind.
Right.
But no, he is just in the elevator.
Alternating for the Americans there, John, calling it an elevator. Like,
I know our audience now. 90% of our listeners are Americans.
Chase wore him out, so he took the elevator. So
It's got to be something like that. Batman doesn't take the lift. He doesn't. Why would he ever do that? That's so strange. The only other thing I've got is that the Goldsman draft, like the gang's plan kicks into action right here because they try and get the bank safe out via helicopter, and they say they're going to kill the prisoner. That all happens right now. It's all very fast because the whole sequence where the safe gets taken out and whatnot that's coming up, that's a lot bigger. There's a lot more going on in that, and it's very convoluted and strange. So they do all that stuff now. Like, yeah, put all that here, rush it through. This is a speedy movie, as we've said. Things just snapping around. It's strange.
But this, at the end of the week, we usually ask the guests if they have any particular history with this film, if they have any memories of seeing it for the first time, or because I know like this is the first movie, like due to the age that I am, that I really remember like the summer of '95 being like Batmania and freaking U2 is blasting out of every radio and freaking you can't get away from the Riddler, he's everywhere, goddammit, and it was amazing. So I don't know if you guys had a similar experience or not.
Oh no, I guarantee I went to the theater for this. I remember the different character posters. It wasn't tied into McDonald's at all, or was just Batman and Robin, huh?
Oh no, it was. They specifically had to appease McDonald's because they were so pissed off about Batman Returns that they had to lure them back in.
Yes, that's right.
By like toning everything down for them and stuff.
No, I definitely saw this in the theaters. I probably went just once, but
you gotta go at least twice for Batman Forever. Come on.
Did you like it at the time?
I don't remember. I still was trying to get over, not seeing Keaton as Batman. And years later, I really like Val Kilmer a lot more as Batman than I did back then.
I think he's grown on a few people, actually. Yeah, like everybody seemed to hate him for years, including me. And I think I'm changing my mind.
Yeah.
I definitely did not see it in theaters. I was young enough where someone would have had to take me, and not that my parents didn't love me, but no, they weren't taking me to see Batman Forever. I was super into Jim Carrey, like I mentioned in an earlier episode, and my parents were just like, we don't get it, she's gone insane. But I do remember this being a movie that was on very heavy rotation on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Like the next year or 6 months, whatever the normal waiting for things to come out on video used to be. And so I probably did, make a blockbuster night of it and rent it and watch it. Thought Chris O'Donnell was cute, of course. And I didn't have the attachment to Michael Keaton as Batman because I'd only seen Batman Returns. And so, yeah, this is someone else, but it didn't seem that crazy to me. It's like, okay, he was played by Michael Keaton in that movie, and he's played by Val Kilmer in this movie.
Yeah, weirdly, I think that's something kids and younger people can wrap their head around easier than older people. Which you think it would be the other way, because, you're older, you can make more rational,
you've seen it
informed,
happen.
Yeah. But it's always kids who are just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I remember this being on, and of course the soundtrack being everywhere.
Oh,
yeah. And those, enjoy talking about that. So it was definitely in the air. It's definitely one that I watched a bunch of times, but it also fell kind of out of my brain because there are certain scenes that I remembered really well, and then there's whole swaths of this movie that I was just like, whoa, I didn't even remember that, like, this character was in this at all. And it's, the henchwenches.
You're not alone.
I forgot their existence. And I think it was because I was watching, I would only catch it on TV, so you're always missing part of it. You're just seeing what, between commercial breaks, and then you flip and you forget to go back or something. Or it's on HBO or whoever had the rights, but you've missed the first half of the movie, so you only really know the second half.
Yeah.
And then right as I was starting to grow out of this, I went through my friends and I thought The Saint, the one that Val Kilmer was in with Elizabeth Shue, was like one of the greatest movies ever made. We had it memorized.
I loved it
we
too.
Did all the accents. It was so great. And so in my mind, The Saint and Val Kilmer as Batman and because he didn't do other Batman movies, it all just kind of squish. And I didn't really think about it that much.
I think I was 9 when I saw The Saint, and I was unbearably bored. I think I've got a thing with, like, I was saying, never got into James Bond. I think I've got a weird thing, because there's so many similarities between Batman and Bond as just characters and stuff. But it's like, I think I just like, if he's dressed in a weird outfit and do Batman like really freaking crazy carnival-esque villains, I'm in. But if it's like a guy in a suit doing stuff that's a kind of like quasi, could almost kind of be realistic, I'm out. So Val Kilmer is The Saint.
See, I came from the opposite. I started out as a Jack Ryan fan.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay.
And ended up as The Saint. So yeah, and that's the Gary Oldman connection where I'm just like, yep, I'm in. So yeah, I just, yeah, we're coming at it from different things where I'm like, that's why I like Chase calling him out, like, you're dressed as a bat. Are you aware of this, sir? Like,
I do like it when people bring that up, because he never really addresses this fact. It's just like, yeah, I know.
Saying to Gordon, like, have you noticed this? Oh my god.
Apparently I look like a bat. I was going for like a policeman or something.
I was like, hey, I don't judge, lady. I lived through the 60s, you know? Like, James Gordon actually performed at Woodstock, but he never made it after that, so that's why he's so hardcore into his karaoke. He's like, he doesn't even sing known songs. He just comes up and sings his own compositions when he's there at the weekend.
I'd love someone to do that at karaoke. At the karaoke night we go to now, let's write our own Batman song and take it up and do it.
Wasn't there a guy that, I think Ash might have mentioned it the last time he was on the show, that some guy did come in and ask, can you just put, what was the song? Like, wasn't like the news of the world. It was like it was a theme tune to like a news documentary program.
Yeah, it was The World at War.
The World at War. And the guy was like, can you just, via YouTube, put that up, the theme tune to that? I've written lyrics for it. I want to perform those lyrics. And Ash was just like, it was our friend Ash who like wrote the theme tune for this show and stuff, and he does a karaoke night every Saturday. He was like, all right, go ahead. just let this guy do this. So
I'm devastated I missed that, because not only is it hilarious, but I love The World at War.
Just as a concept as well.
As a concept, I love The World at War. Screw you all.
Because the best thing about it, there's always one brewing somewhere.
Major Penguin vibes here.
But yeah, I'm ready to wrap this week up if you guys are.
Yes, we can head out into the dark night. And one last time, would you like to tell our listeners where they can find you online? Robin, you can go first. And both of you, be aware, you may be murdered after this. So, yeah.
Wait, no! I thought we were good.
Well,
it was in the small print of the invite.
You can find me at Fright Night Minute, and I'm glad at least 30 of those minutes are already scheduled. So if I don't make it through this, enjoy the first 30 minutes of it. Yeah,
that's all you need.
Yeah, And Tierney.
I was doing it again deliberately.
Well, thank you. I am Tierney Steele. I've done a few Movies by Minutes podcasts, and hopefully we'll be talking some more pop culture, but not a minute at a time as time goes by. You can find links to everything on onesteelsister.com, and I just beg everyone, it's a very different tone than the Batman franchise, but if you are curious, MASH Minute is a show I've been co-hosting with my friend Megan, and it has just been fascinating to dig into. You mentioned a movie that hasn't aged well and was problematic when it actually did come out, and that's what we deal with over there.
It is great, but
we have fun doing it.
You have to have fun. You have to. But nobody wants it to be dry and boring, and none of those shows are. They're all great. So check them out, everybody, and come and talk to us at the Bat-Minute Listeners Cave. And leave us a review on iTunes. That's always very, very helpful. It's very nice, and I will shout you out on air if you do. And what could be better than that? Nothing.
That's it. That's the top.
I thought that was the riddle.
Oh no. We're gonna toss this coin now to see if you are allowed to live or allowed to die. The random toss is the only true justice. And we're gonna see what justice has in store for you. What do you want?
Should we go ahead?
Yeah,
together?
leave my fate in your hands. Go ahead.
Oh, I hate this.
It's like the touch of God. Wait. I'm sorry to break it to you, but you need to be killed.
Oh no!
Take him away.
I was really looking forward to that pizza and beer.
Bake him away, toys.
But you said you'd let me live.
Right, so while we drag them off into the abyss, make sure to join us again on Monday. We will have new guests who will also face the challenge of the coin, and they will be here to talk about Batman, apparently, as well. That's how we hook them in. So see you on Monday.
Yeah. Next time, beware, goons, the bell dings for thee. Some dumb waiters discern a dumb waiter's delivery of a vengeful vigilante via a conveyance, while a divided dent plans an annihilation via elevation. But while the Dark Knight's deception gets the drop on his doomed reception, which ghoulish gadgets from his collection will be employed in our next section? Find out who's in it to win it. Same Bat Pod, different Bat Minute.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.